What is going on, everybody? I'm Pixel Enemy, Almost Evil 33 here, and today I have a Battlefield 4 gameplay commentary for you guys. Today I'm playing some Rush on Hainan Resort, I think that's how you pronounce that, and I'm running with the AKU-12, which is easily one of my favorite carbines in the game. I know it has a slow rate of fire at only 600 or 650 rounds per minute, but this thing is deadly and it is accurate. So I highly recommend you guys check this weapon out if you have not done so yet. It is fantastic. But anyway, I have a lot to talk about today that isn't really related to this gameplay directly, and that is how EA and DICE have handled Battlefield 4. And I'm not really talking so much about all the bugs that are in the game right now, or all the issues that the game has. That's not really what I'm here to talk about. That's part of it, though, I guess you can say. But what I'm here to talk about today is the question of how has DICE and EA handled Battlefield 4 so far. And I think the short answer here, personally, is pretty poorly, and I think a lot of people would agree with me in saying that. But I'd like to keep things in perspective here, so I'm going to bring in another report card system. So today we're going to judge EA and DICE based on their release and their support of Battlefield 4 so far. And here's what the grading areas are going to include. Number 1 is the hype and support before launch day, which basically comes down to advertising. Number 2 is the launch of Battlefield 4 as a whole. And number 3 is the support post-release that Battlefield 4 was given. So let's start right away with number 1, the hype and support before launch. I'm going to say that DICE and EA were on par here. They made their fantastic cinematic trailers like they always do, making the game really seem more epic than it is, even though Battlefield can be pretty epic at certain times. They went out of their way to do the only in Battlefield 4 moments. Their commercials that were on TV featured these people who would talk about all these crazy moments that they had playing Battlefield 4, which, I mean, I guess it was a cool idea because they were really just sold on these only in Battlefield moments where the helicopter that you're traveling in is hit by a missile and then it starts crashing and it crashes through this glass roof and you parachute out of it onto the bomb and you drop C4 on people so you magically clear the room and then you get a clear sight of the bomb and you arm it and your team wins the game. It's moments like that that they were just kind of completely advertising, and they really wanted people to kind of understand that these moments can only happen in Battlefield, not Call of Duty, not any other shooter game out there, so buy our game because you'll be able to tell stories like this to your friends. Yeah, really, you must be fun at parties if you're telling those stories, but whatever. So the key here is that they decided to just go all out with their advertising campaign, and I think they were on par. I think they did a good job. You can't deny the fact that they make Hollywood-style trailers out of real gameplay from the game. You can't take that away from them. So in the hype and support category, before launch, and the advertising, I'm going to give them an A. Moving on to number 2, which is the Battlefield 4 launch as a whole. This is where things start to get dicey. The launch for Battlefield 4 was horrendous. I mean, there's no other term for it. It was horrible. I don't even really know how to say it. I picked up my copy of Battlefield 4 almost a month after release, but I was clearly in tune with what was going on. I was talking to people both over Twitter, on Reddit, and just people in real life, some of my friends that had the game. I had played the game, and I had experienced and heard so many things about the game, and it was horrible. I mean, there were so many issues with it on all 3 platforms. I mean, the biggest issue was that they couldn't even play the game. I mean, it was crashing left and right. People on Xbox 360 were getting told that their disc was uncompatible or something like that. PC was crashing left and right, getting the red screen of death, and PS3 was just having its own fair share of crashes. Netcode on PC was a disaster. People couldn't even hit anybody, and the server browser was screwed up. Battlelog was screwed up. The tablet thing for Commander mode didn't work at all. It was just a mess, and given, you have to give them the benefit of the doubt here, they did kind of anticipate this. They told us that the launch would not be perfect, and I understand that, I get that, and no launch is ever perfect. I'm not expecting them to have a flawless launch with no issues. I mean, there's day 1 patches for a reason, I understand that, but my key here is that EA rushed this game yet again. Why do they need to keep doing this? Why can't they have a March release date anymore? I just don't understand. I understand that you want to compete with Call of Duty. I get that. So Call of Duty's coming out in November. You really want to get your game out before Call of Duty? I don't really understand the logic there. Because if you're trying to win over the Call of Duty fan base, alright, fine. So some Call of Duty players will buy your game. But a month later, they're going to buy the new Call of Duty game. Why don't you release your game in the spring so that the Call of Duty crowd that might be getting bored of Call of Duty, if you really think that your game is that much better, they'll switch over to your game. I just don't really understand the logic. I mean, Battlefield Bad Company 2 was released in March of 2010. They had enough time to work on the game, and although that game didn't have a perfect release either, I bought the game in March, and it was filled with issues. The lag was unbearable, the Magnum ammo was overpowered, just little things like that. But at least you can play the game. I mean, Battlefield 4 for a while was unplayable, and even at the point that it's at right now, there's still a lot of crashes. I mean, Dawnbreaker, for example, whenever I play it on 360, which I'm stuck on 360 right now, but before I upgrade to Xbox One, which has its own fair share of issues, whenever I play Dawnbreaker, I'm just prepared for my game to freeze. It's almost a definite scenario that my game will freeze on that map. That is just unacceptable. It's unacceptable, and that should not be the case. This game needed more work. It needed a lot more work. In fact, DICE asked for more time to develop this game, and obviously EA wouldn't give it to them so that they can reach their release day. So I don't know if this release date before Call of Duty in October really helps out Battlefield in the long run. I really don't know. I don't know if that allows them to sell more copies. I mean, they know more than I do, and all of us, but still, I don't get it. I really don't get it, guys. And if you understand it, if you're into marketing and you really have an explanation for it, let me know, because I really don't, I just don't understand the point. Why not just make a complete game and release it in the spring? I don't understand. Not to mention, there's basically a large scarcity of games in the spring. Nobody comes out with games in the spring, at least no first-person shooter games. And, like, what's wrong with delaying your game a little bit? BioShock Infinite delayed a long time. Grand Theft Auto 5 delayed a long time. Why can't Battlefield, just to make a game that's actually polished and complete? Doesn't really seem like something that DICE and EA did in the past, but now they're all about money and that's what they do. So, whatever, right? As a whole, I'm going to give the launch an F. So, there's really nothing else to say. The launch day was a disaster. F. F, F, F. Time to talk about our last category, and that is the support that EA and DICE have given Battlefield 4 post-release. And I'm going to just be flat out with my answer here, and I gave them a D+ in this category. That's my grade for them. Some of you may be saying I'm being too generous, some of you may say I'm being too harsh, but that's what I've decided, and the reason is just because I know that EA and DICE have stated that they've halted their progress on making DLC and coming out with more content until the base game gets fixed. So they're kind of pushing all of their forces to fixing the actual game that we have in our hands right now. So I think that's a good thing, but a lot of the issues are still yet to be addressed. And I know they set up a forum or some sort of page where all the users could kind of submit their biggest problems with the game, and they're going to try to go about fixing them that way. I think that's the right approach to this. But I also think they haven't really interacted with their community that well, and I hope that they can kind of improve on this as the days go by, as they fix this game more and more. So that pretty much wraps it up for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up. That really helps out both me and Pixel Enemy. Also, drop a comment down below with your thoughts and your grades in these 3 categories. And last but not least, come check out my channel. I have a link in the description. There's a lot of Battlefield content that's going to be coming out on there. So come check me out and drop a subscription if you really want to check out some of my stuff, which would be awesome. And other than that, I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching, and peace out, everybody.